I'm here to talk about my yoga training experience. I joined the 100-hour Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga teacher training. The training took about a month to complete, so the entire month of April. And the setup was every weekday from 7 a.m. to 12 noon. The training was held at a studio only 30 minutes away from where I live. It is by the beach. It's beautiful, and the studio owner, Miss Cecil, really created and nurtured a strong and dedicated community of practitioners. So the reason I joined the training was I wanted to learn more about Ashtanga Vinyasas. I already completed my 200-hour teacher training. I completed it February of this year because it was done online. I felt like I missed out on a few key aspects of the training of a typical yoga teacher training, like hands-on adjustments and meeting new people and being in a classroom setting. And this particular training, this 100-hour Ashtanga Vinyasa training, focused more on anatomy and posture and manual adjustment, hands-on adjustment, which really interested me. The lead trainer, teacher Reds, was actually one of my first yoga teacher when I began my yoga journey.
Microbed at home. Anak! Hindi pa kayong kuan, stretch na rin kita. Now, your sternum o manubrium is in between the knuckles.
He designed this course to complement the 200-hour teacher training, but it's also a great intro for those who wanted to go deeper into the yoga practice. liked about this training was because it was done in studio, I got to interact with classmates and teachers, and not just during the lessons, but also outside of it. So my network of yogis, yoga practitioners broadened. I got to hear people's stories of how they started yoga and why they continued yoga and why they're undergoing the training. All of their stories are very inspiring, and it really motivated me, and it really affirmed my decision to go deeper into the practice. Palms facing each other. You can look up, and then as you exhale, forward fold. You can bend your knees generously here in your forward fold. Next, and both your hands on the mat. Step into plank. Stay here in your plank toes. Make sure your hands are right beside your chest or nipple line. One last. Come into your downward facing dog. You can pedal your feet in down dog. We'll spend a couple of moments here. Now, down dog is a foundational pose. So you want to find a down dog that's inhale into halfway lift. Exhale as you forward fold once more. Slowly come up. Inhale. Arms up. Gaze to the sky. Exhale. And back into Tadasana.
Yeah.
I've always been curious about Ashtanga Vinyasa. I've practiced Ashtanga in studio or here at home, but I always felt like I'm not doing enough because I couldn't complete the primary series. Having completed the training, I now realize it's not about doing all the poses properly or perfectly and completing the entire series. The point of Ashtanga is to make it a practice, and practice means doing it consistently, doing it with dedication, and just trusting the process.
Para maka-push back ka, internal rotation, mag-igwan sa lubot. Ang siya is ma-level. Kung i-adjust siya, di siya ka-adjust. Because overshot mo siya sa iyang heels. Suppose
Ikaw na.
Ako blindfold.
Sige.
Straight your back, eyes in one direction.
Yes, Christy.
After the training, I feel like I have even more insight into the tradition of yoga, the practice of yoga. I have more confidence now in teaching, I would say. And more than anything, it made me curious and eager to learn more about yoga. training, we went on a retreat into the mountains. We were by this river. The house was beautiful, very beautiful lawn. We did a silent retreat, so they took our phones. We weren't allowed to read, we weren't allowed to interact with each other, we weren't even allowed to look at each other. It was my first time doing that, and I now realize we are always stimulated. Our mind is always stimulated. It's no wonder why sitting silently in meditation is such a chore for a lot of us. Overall, I was very, very happy I did the training. Not only am I now a 300-hour certified yoga teacher, but I also got to deepen my practice. I have a different insight now into the practice of yoga. I got to meet very interesting people, and I am more certain that this path that I didn't really choose, but I was just guided into, is the correct one for me.